rooster sounds on the ridge top, a gobbler hammering in the treetop.
Well guys, you know what that means when you hear that song come on the vehicle. It's first time I'm able to go turkey hunting this year, and I could not be more excited. I've got this jittery feeling in me that I get every time before the first hunt of any season. And makes me think I'm half crazy or something, but it's Easter weekend. Happy Good Friday to everyone. It's Good Friday today. And we're down here in southern Iowa. I just parked on a piece of public land. We Trevor deer hunted here a few times. I've never actually hunted here, but driven by it a few times. We went out last weekend and got up early and listened to some birds off the roost in a couple of the public places around here. And in this particular spot, we heard some birds gobbling just in there, probably 400 or 500 yards from the access, and got a pretty good location of them. So, it's really early in the morning, still breaking light, so we knew that they had just pretty much just flown down. So I know they're roosting over here on this ridge, and I think that's going to make a big difference, having a place to start, being as I've never turkey hunted any of the places around here. We just moved down into this area last fall, so I think that'll help a lot and have a good starting point. The main goal tonight, I mean, you never expect to kill one the first night, but if one wants to work, I'd be more than happy, I guess, and cut a little short. But I guess it's perfect weather out, not hot, but nice sunny day, so it's good weather for one to get in the mood, I guess. But the goal for tonight is to really just set us up for the rest of the weekend, get on some birds, at least be able to roost some late at night here, and I'm going to try to be pretty cautious, not spook any out. This is a really close spot, and I think it's got to be full of birds. It's really diverse habitat. There's ag fields, a lot of big timber, creek unit, so pretty excited about this. I guess we have about 3 hours till dark, so I guess finish getting ready and let's go hunting for the first time. Excited. Making the first setup so far. Got into some turkey sign. I'm on this ridge that I think they roosted along. It's a huge ridge, so they could be anywhere, but hoping they'll be somewhere before dark. I just shot a gobbler. You have got to be kidding me. What? What? Oh man, I don't know if the footage was any good, but I was trying to make sure that he was not a Jake. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say. He's a long beard. He's got some nice hooks on him. Man. Pretty bird. I don't know how good the footage was, but the jig was up. He turned around to leave, and I said, okay, if I'm gonna kill him, I better do it now. Had all kinds of shots at him. He came up over the hill. I saw him, I saw his body, and I saw his big red head. I'm like, okay, it's illegal, like whatever it is. I knew right away, okay, it's legal, not a hen. And so I'm like, okay. And I was trying to get a look at his beard. Well, he started coming this way, like directly away from me. He just got to just to where he could crest the ridge, and I don't know, never really looked for me. I was calling 50 yards down the ridge that whole time for about 15 minutes, and then I got up and started doing a little bit more calling, working this way. So I get to a knob up here and listen for the rest of the night. I thought, man, I've got to be within earshot of some gobblers just because of the terrain and the habitat types. It's so good in here, and we heard birds in here last weekend. I'm like, I'm in earshot of them, they're just not talking. So I was being real cautious, and I'm really happy I did. I was moving slow enough, just kind of scratching my way through on top of this ridge here. I decided to set up the main camera to finish the reenactment, but basically my shell's right here. I was laying down right here, and I just had the camera tipped over. I had the GoPro, which is actually Trevor's GoPro, attached to my gun with this little extravagant thing right here, and I had basically been standing up, and I dropped down, and it was basically kind of something like this, where I'm just into the gun enough to be able to get up on the bead, but pretty low. I mean, I probably look like a brush pile from a turkey's perspective 20-40 yards away. And I mean, we've done this a bunch of times, but when you get stuck out of the open, you can't just, I mean, if I'd have been like this, which is more comfortable, I mean, he'd have popped his head up over the ridge, and the very first time I saw him, he'd have spooked. So I was laying down like this, and kind of using my knee to guide, but still real low, and the camera was actually sticking up higher than my point of view, so hopefully it got a little bit better footage. But the very first time I saw him, he's looking back, he's about 15 yards, and he peeked his head up over the ridge, never saw me, and started going away from me, unfortunately, and maybe it was a different one than I ended up shooting, because when I got up, there were some that were closer than him, but I never saw him. I only thought it was one turkey. And anyway, I'm sitting there, and as soon as he came up over the ridge, I saw that he had a big red head and a big black body. I mean, I knew it was not a hen right away, but I was like, so that means it's legal, because you can shoot jakes here in Iowa. And so I was like, well, I don't really want to shoot a jake. It's not going to be the best footage. I'm not above shooting jakes, as a lot of you guys will remember, but especially on a weekend hunting tag. So anyway, I just thought, well, it's the very first afternoon, and I know there's birds in this area. I don't want to shoot a jake just quite yet. So I elected to hold out because he was in brush, and I didn't see his beard yet. Well, I was just waiting for him to pop out right up here, and I don't know why, but I would have thought he would have come up the ridge and kept looking for the hen, but he started going straight away from me and still in the brush a little bit. And I'm waiting for him to pop out. All of a sudden I get a little bit of movement in my peripheral. This is why I think it's probably a different turkey that I ended up shooting. And he's like 40 yards away now, and he's kind of skirting me at this point. And I'm like, okay, it's not a hen, but I don't see the beard. And now he's in an opening at probably 35 yards, and I got the bead right on his head, and I mean, I remember it vividly, just the little wobbling that it's doing. I mean, just centered around his neck and head, and trying to decide whether to shoot. I got the finger on the trigger, safety off. My heart's beating so fast, and about that time, he pops up over the ridge, and as I'm like positioning to get in position, I know he kind of knows I'm here. He doesn't know what I am, but the jig is about to be up, and for whatever reason, I decided to call in the moment. I was trying to get him to maybe pick his head up a little bit more or something, I guess, get him to turn so I could see his beard. And then the jig was really up, and I'm sure he looked at me and saw me right away. And so he kind of whirled around, and he didn't start running, but he started walking away. I mean, I knew he was spooked at that point. And so I went from, basically, I had switched down to here, and then had to sit up, because now there's more brush and he's running away. And I remember I got around this tree here, and saw his head walking away. I back up, when he whirled, he finally swung his beard out. I remember seeing it vividly, and I'm like, okay, if I'm going to shoot him, I better shoot him now. I mean, I'm not going to be too picky about the footage, self-filming, and being as this tag is only good for this week, and I don't have any time to hunt during the week. Had a really tough couple of weeks. It was killing me not being able to get out. It's been open since Wednesday, and it's my first day out, but I only have, 2.5 days to hunt. So I'm like, I can't be wasting opportunities at a gobbler for myself. I mean, I've killed a lot of turkeys, but I get just as big of a rush out of every single one of them. So we're not to the point yet where I'm gonna not shoot one because the footage isn't perfect. I think hopefully we got a little bit. I obviously haven't looked at it yet, but he was walking away, and I'm like, well, he's in range still. He's not even moving that fast, just kind of trotting, or I don't know, even trotting, but just squeezed one off, and I saw him flopping right away. And of course, my adrenaline's running. You probably see it in the footage. I just sprinted up over there to make sure I got him, and there's birds flying off too. I think there was 2 other gobblers with him, and I just wanted to make sure that wasn't him getting away. So I guess that's the story. I hope we got a little bit of footage of it, but that sure was exciting. I mean, you love it when they come in just hammering, gobbling their heads off, but at the same time, it's fun too when it's that anticipation. Once you hear walking, and then you hear scratching, you know it's turkeys. Well, what is it? Is it a hen coming in to investigate? Is it a group of jakes? What is it? And I'm laying down, and I'm just hearing them getting closer and closer, and I just can't hardly take it. We'll finally crest the ridge, and the rest is history, I guess. But man, what a good start to the season for Bronco Outdoors. It doesn't get any smoother than that, or really luckier than that. I mean, you can be a great turkey hunter and never experience this. It's just, it's the combination of no one having a good plan and then just having everything fall in place. It doesn't happen like this too often. So, I'm pumped. I couldn't be happier.
What's up?
Well, I know we're supposed to. Well, I know we're supposed to be doing a vlog series showing the ups and downs, but so far we haven't really had any downs. I just killed one.
Did you smoke a longbird in the afternoon?
Yep.
How did you? Hunter just shot one in the afternoon. Where are you?
Came up that ridge.
Really?
I said, well, I didn't know where else to go. I mean, we had located birds pretty much in a lot of the places that we went to last week and driving around, but I figured we knew that these ones were roosted on that ridge, and I'm like,
right.
The name of the game in the afternoon is being where they want to be. I didn't know if they'd be talking or not. They weren't, but I just decided to go up to this ridge that we thought they were roosted on. I got up here. I was real cautious going in. I didn't want to spook anything, just because I thought this was
super open in the woods too right now.
It is.
Yeah.
So basically, and it's pretty steep over here, but basically I got to the crest of the ridge, found the first scratching I saw, and I'm like, well, haven't heard a single gobble. I'd been messing around for about an hour at this point, between getting ready and stuff, and no gobbles yet. A little bit of a windy day, but nice out. And got to the end of the ridge, saw a scratching. I'm like, well, I'll let out a few calls. I'm always real nervous the first time I call every season, but I let out a few calls, nothing happened, so I set up, and I knew something could come in. I didn't want to be caught in the middle of nowhere just because I had nothing else to do. And so I called for maybe 15-20 minutes, probably over the course of that time, maybe 4 times, just bringing the intensity up a little bit each time. And eventually I got up. I was going to move up the ridge farther so I had more options, because the backside of me was a drop off. I knew nothing was going to come up from there, so I got up and I had been scratching and walking and scratching and walking, made it 50 yards, and I just all of a sudden I heard turkeys doing the exact same thing I was doing right over the ridge. At that point he was just walking away, almost not a run but not a walk, and I just walloped him 40 yards.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So he was at 40 yards, huh?
Yeah, probably 45
That's
maybe.
sweet, dude.
Yeah, I'm glad. It was through. I had it open. I just saw his head for a second and just touched it off. And I mean, I was pretty confident about it, but not.
Dang.
I was, surprised too to see him go down after.
I'm surprised that you had one on the afternoon. I didn't even know if you were going out this afternoon or not.
Yeah, I ended up skipping my workout. I got done with class at 2:30 and decided I wanted to come out here.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
So you went to that parking lot that we were at that day? Or which parking lot did you go to?
Yeah, I went to that one that we heard these birds at. Well, it's a super pretty bird with a nice long fan, almost white tips on his fan. But I guess I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Hopefully I made some sense when I was trying to explain what happened. I was so excited it probably made about as much sense as a frog without a watertight butthole, which is about 0 cents. So hopefully you guys can see my excitement. I think that'll be the most fun part of this video. And I guess just wrapping up, the biggest key to this hunt was definitely coming out last weekend and finding where the birds are. Being in a new area, a lot of people I'm sure face this, or out-of-state hunts or whatever. It pays off to do a little bit of scouting beforehand, before season, or even take a day and drive around, locate birds, find backup plans, look at access. Last week we were mainly, besides just listening for birds, we were checking for hunters. And we found that this place was low pressure and there were birds up on that ridge. I had a good starting point to go off. I knew they were probably roosted there last weekend, so that's as good of any knowledge that I had coming into this weekend, is that, well, maybe something will come roost on that ridge and I'll be able to locate them for tomorrow morning, or maybe even get them tonight, and just so happen to get lucky. So I guess that's going to wrap up my 3rd season here in Iowa. And I'll be getting a tag next Wednesday again, or I already have it actually, but next Wednesday I'll be able to go hunting again, and Trevor's going to get 2 4 seasons tags, so we got that to look forward to. Maybe we can talk Dad into going turkey hunting. But we also have a lot to do out at the farm, getting ready for planting. It's planting season for deer hunting, so got a lot to do, but we'll be back out soon and have more turkey videos your way. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you could really see the excitement that it brings. And as always, get out there, enjoy the public lands. There's no one else on this whole piece, 2,000 or 3,000 acres. We need more people out here enjoying these places so that they don't get taken away, and there's plenty of it to go around. So anyway, thanks for watching, and make sure you guys all have a happy Easter and a good rest of your season. Good luck out there.